Welcome back everyone to Hearts of Iron 4, and this time we'll be looking at Millennium Dawn and how it's been sort of doing, and we'll play sort of a mini campaign. Now, I'm not sure if you will notice by now, but once again, the Black Ice submod I'm using, which makes Black Ice playable, released an update which essentially makes the game unplayable on your old save games. And this time I just don't want to do the whole process of coming back into it again, because it's just no. That would be annoying as hell. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna play a few campaigns, small ones. Wait, what? We can do that again? Yeah, I'm just gonna play a few small games on some other mods just to see how they've been coming along. And I'll start with Millennium Dawn. Okay. I'll start with Millennium Dawn because, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. And also because it does, I don't take Millennium Dawn too seriously, so it's going to be easier for me to just plow on through this. I'm going to play as Italy. Now, I have already played as Italy once, and unfortunately, I just wanted to play a country that had a focus tree. And I had my mind on a couple of countries, such as France and Japan. Actually, Japan looked pretty interesting to play as in Millennium Dawn, but unfortunately, I have some other plans for Japan, and then all these small miners don't really have any focus trees, so it's a little bit more boring while you're just waiting for everything to build up. It's on ahistorical. You saw that all of the sliders are up at maximum. And there's a stability. Millennium Dawn uses a concept called stability to represent internal conflicts and government struggles. Stability is the numeric value that moves from 0 to 100 and subdivided into 7 steps. Disastrous, very low, low, average, high, very high, and amazing. These go from 0 to 100. Each of the levels will give you a modifier that affects just about everything in your nation. Generally, you want to keep your stability at least average, from where on the bonuses will be slightly positive. Got it. And your stability, we're started at 65 high at a maximum at 100. So we're not too stable right off the bat. Well, we're high stability. This country is a stable and good place to live in. I can confirm that. Corruption. The Italian political system is far less stable and unbiased than comparable European systems. Cronyism and nepotism are huge problems in local administration, the judiciary, and even the federal government. So we get -5 national unity and -0.15 daily political power gain. I dislike that. The Mafia. Oh, interesting. National Unity -5%, research time +2%, so not that much, but still annoying. Consumer Goods Factory 4%, Civilian Factory and Construction Speed -10%, daily political power -0.3%. Organized crime is an immense problem in Italy, especially in the south of the country. Local businesses are threatened and pushed around by the Mafia, which also bribes officials and threatens the police and prosecutors to try to hunt the criminals down. So we get problems with that too. European Union member, so we get less political power gain from that too, but we get more factory output, which is decent. So we're gonna need to be using that as much as possible before it'll leave, as it may. Stagnant birth rate, that's bad, so we're gonna need to fix that. Checking out the focus tree, we get a fair few things. Now, going on the right side, there's just the military, and we'll be taking a look at that later. This is the diplomatic one / political one. So you can either go with or against. Oh, wow. Interesting. Oh, really now? That's hilarious, actually. That is absolutely hilarious. And, yeah. Elections now. So we can either go full reactionary, and we can go Italy. Restore trust in the system. Oh, that's good. Civilian factories, research time, Italian trade investment in a ton of countries. Wonder what that would do. And ooh, plus 25% civilian factory and military factory construction speed. Yes, yes. Look at that, fucking huge amounts of resources, and we'll restore our currency, and we'll stop immigration. I don't know. Illegal immigration from Africa with replace illegal immigration from Africa. We don't have illegal immigration from Africa, though. Wonder if that will happen later on. Yeah, that would be encouraged. We get less national unity, more monthly population, which is what we want. Then we could go with the European Union. We could initiate the expansion of the EU in the Balkans and in the Mediterranean. Union of Nations, change in popularity of reactionaries. So that's, I guess, just for a EU that's a bunch of allies, but this one is to unite the Union. Interesting, I thought only... Oh, wow. That is interesting. I thought only Germany could do that, but it appears we can do that as well. Prepare the Union. Savoy and Corsica, that's monarchy. Holy shit. Settle the southern question, the stubborn south. We don't have the stubborn south, but we should have the stubborn south. Because the south is indeed stubborn in Italy. Demand the Albanian throne. Italy demands immediate annexation. And then we can obviously just do fascism. The new Roman Senate, the Roman Empire is back. Or the new March on Rome, we can have the return of fascism, of course. Because why wouldn't we do that? And renew the Lateran treaties. Why would we renew them if then we annex them? I don't understand. Reclaim our colonies, of course. Expand our control of the Adriatic Sea, Blackwood of Arabia. And that's obviously opposed to supporting any, which is the Internazionale. No, wait. In it, I forget what that actually means, but it's basically the energy quote-unquote giant of Italy, even though we don't really have a giant. Sardinia is no longer a core of Sardinia. Yeah, that's... Oh, Sicily is no longer a core of Sicily. Okay, so there looks like there's a lot of tiny countries that have our... well, in our regions that have cores. So Sicily, Corsica... Okay, Lombardy, with that horrible flag. And Venice, or, well, they called it Veneto, but that's Venice's flag. And then I'm guessing, oh, okay, Austria has South Tyrol. Then, doesn't look like there's anything else. Interesting. I wish the Vatican was playable. Oh look, People faction, John Paul II. The Holy See drift towards monarchy 100. Lul. There is no way that this country is ever ruled by anyone but the Pope. That's hilarious. Yeah, they probably don't have any population, do they? Yeah, no, 854. So if they had a higher population, it would be hilarious if they got to like attack people. Wonder if you can make like the new Holy See or whatever and do crusades as Italy. Doesn't look like it. You can do the Roman things. Expand our control of the Adriatic Sea. So in general, there's just gain annex war goal against Germany. Oh boy, look at that shit. So, what does that do? Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess it's just inviting people in your alliance. And then this is just to be a dick with the Roman Empire, of course. That's hilarious. Oh, well, you'll vote in the comments as to which of these will go, actually. I've decided now. We use democracy, which is never a good idea with these things, because you'll certainly choose the worst thing possible. Okay, and then... yeah, that's just strengthening ties with the West or whatever. And for now, we'll just develop our economy. We'll get some industry. We can develop Southern Italy. Yeah. So we can either fund Northern industries or Southern industries. We'll look about that later. Oil fields in Sicily. So we can make oil sprout up from nowhere. Okay. We'll do industrial focus. Perfect. And then we have outdated equipment in production. We can produce the AR-90 instead of the AR-70. We have 13 military factories. Not bad. Support equipment. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of need for that. Artillery. Also a lot of need for that. Motorized, maybe not quite so much, because of the IFVs, the mechanized infantry, and the APCs. So what do we have actually in our armies? Mechanized brigade, that's got motorized and mechanized infantry, which requires mechanized, so IFVs. Then in our armor, we have tanks, special forces commando, mechanized. Okay. Cavalry brigade, cavalry. And motorized infantry, alpine brigade, cavalry and artillery. Parachutes, just parachutes. So no light mechanized. We don't need to produce any of that. We need to produce IFVs. And then we'll go on to produce some motorized. That is when we have the production capacity available. And then anti-tank and anti-air, I think, are not going to be as important. So yeah, we obviously have our entire army that's kind of still disorganized. We'll check that out later. We can train brigades. We'll train armored brigade. And no, mechanized brigade. Although we'll have to get some editing done to these to make them effective in combat. Research, we cannot research the ARX 160 because that's a little bit too far up. We're gonna focus first on industry. Modern construction tools, yes. That's gonna be increasing our construction speed and giving us some stuff. Production efficiency growth with CIM software, yes. And then engineering. Oh, decryption +2 and encryption +2, thank you very much. Radar station level 2. Does that do anything else comparatively to the normal game? Construction. Allows you to gain intel on enemy troops in nearby states. Higher level radar in the state increases the range of the radar. Radar also provides the state with a better detection of enemy air forces, giving your planes a better chance to engage them. So it looks like it also provides intelligence on people. Now we don't need intelligence yet because we have obviously we are in NATO, right? So we are basically allied with everyone around us except very tiny countries that for now we don't care about, but eventually that's gonna become important actually. For example, building a radar station in Trieste here when we go to war with the old... Oh right, Yugoslavia still exists. Oh hi, Milosevic. Okay. That would be an interesting country to play as, Yugoslavia. Interestingly, well, obviously you don't have any cores. Funnily enough, you don't have a core on Srpska. Republika Srpska. For whatever reason. And since you are a minor, you don't have the unique thing. And you have a DEMZ in Kosovo. But the funny thing is, there's no way to remove that DMZ, I think. Oh well. Industrial focus. Okay, so these are our parties. We get Islamist. We just don't have anything. Rifondazione Comunista for communist, which is obviously like communist refoundation. La Margherita, nobody cares about them. Federazione dei Verdi, oh yeah, nobody cares about the Verdi either. The Greens. And obviously our ruling party is the DS, the Left Democrats. And then we get PPI. Oh no, Libertarians. Nobody likes them. Berlusconi, obviously. Oh boy. North League. Oh boy, House of Savoy. Oh no. Oh no, AN. Oh no! The tricolor flame. These are the fascists. So you'll choose which one of these we go for. And I'm already kind of sweating because it's going to be bad. What else can we research? Obviously doctrines, MPA bombers, UCAV, or UCAV, I guess. So these are just the aircraft. For now, we don't need any aircraft. We'll just research a doctrine. We'll go with spear firepower. Missing equipment. Wait, will we? I guess so. Soft attack is always good. So what do we need in terms of resources? Rubber and tungsten, right. And then this will not give us rubber. This will give us rubber. So, oh boy. We only have 12 civilian factories that can construct things. Yeah, we'll go first with military factories. Or maybe we'll first go with civilians. We'll just get some civilians on their way so that we can have a full 15 factories producing things. And then rubber and steel. Right, so who do we have the most influence with? Nigeria and Ethiopia. So Ethiopia is going to give us rubber. And then tungsten. Germany, but Germany is going to run out. Portugal, yes. And we have dockyards, which is probably going to be harsh because we're gonna get a carrier. We have 14 dockyards, so we'll assign 7 to the carrier. And we don't have a navy, interestingly, which is unfortunate, very unfortunate. And then we'll have, looks like destroyer is not actually a destroyer. Because in the modern day, a destroyer is a little bit huge. This has a 19 fire range, and this has a 15 fire range. Yeah, it looks like it's not an actual guided missile destroyer that we're building. It's just a corvette, I guess it's supposed to represent. Torpedo attack, 8. Really, torpedo attack, interesting. Naval firepower, 9. Yeah, this is going to be the escort ship that we want. And they'll just go to Tuscany because for some reason we have the biggest port in Italy in Tuscany? What? Oh no, it's because La Spezia for whatever reason is in Tuscany. Oh right, there's no Liguria, which is this region over here. That has Genoa and La Spezia, 2 biggest ports in Italy, along with Taranto down here. So there's the Italian regions just kind of confuse me. And then missing equipment. MBTs. Oh. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, producing MBTs sounds like a good idea now, does it? You'll go at the top of the priority just to get the resources and factories as we gain them. And obviously producing things like aircraft carriers takes a lot of resources. So we'll just grab ourselves the oil, a ton of steel that we need from Germany. And we're going to run out of civilian factories soon enough. So it's good that we're upgrading our infrastructure with our national focuses. And Turkey will give us... Wow, that's a lot of trade influence. Holy shit. Why? Oh, relations. Apparently we have excellent relations with Turkey. We do. In a faction and the same ruling party. Well, that does help. Okay. So those Social Democrats too, right? Yeah. Democratic left. Which is exactly the name as my party. Interesting. Okay. So now we're going to move on. Do we have any generals? We do. They're all bad. We'll get Claudio Graziano. New Security Council members. The United Nations has elected 5 new members into its ranks. The 5 current members have finished their 2 years and will leave the Security Council. Good. Who are they? Who are the new members? I do not know. I'm guessing that if you have... yeah, for example, Ukraine is one. And the next one is going to be in 2002. So, Al-Qaeda summit in Kuala Lumpur. Just Al-Qaeda. Nobody gives a shit about Al-Qaeda. And oh boy. Our political power though. Holy shit, we just don't have any. Egypt takes control of the Halaib Triangle. Interesting. The Halaib Triangle is a little tiny thing here. This one. It's a very weird disputed zone between Sudan and Egypt. Airline Scandal. One of our major civilian airlines has been involved in a major corruption scandal involving aggressively contesting airspaces both at home and abroad, and even bribing airport officials to deny competition planes landing grounds for hours in order to waste their fuel. The airline, and by extension our government, has been questioned regarding these practices. What to do? You can either put it into this, and that's gonna increase my stability by 1, which could be useful, or our companies will do what is necessary. Now, if we go negative on political power, we won't really have any way to apply to join the EU. Well, we're already in the EU. Yeah, we will essentially... just looking at the things, we'll essentially just make certain that we don't have any political power for a long ass time. But even if we do what is necessary, whatever the hell that means, then that's not gonna give us a lot of political power. And then if we increase our stability by 1, eventually we may reach a higher level of stability, like very high stability, which would increase our political power gain anyway. For example, if France has very high stability, France is German average stability. You're high. Who's got a very high stability? Come on. Average. No. High. Damn it. China? Socialism of Chinese character. No, low. High stability. Damn it. Who's got high stability? Low stability. No. Okay. Maybe the Scandinavians. Yes, the Scandinavians. No, not the Scandinavians either. Okay, so it looks like nobody has high stability. Or very high stability. Damn it, that's annoying as hell. I guess we'll just increase it. Fine. So it's interesting that they added these random events. That might make playing the game a little more interesting, especially in these... Oh, we have a cavalry brigade. Pozzuolo del Friuli. Yet you're not in Friuli. Get in fucking Friuli, you idiot. Prison break. A notorious murderer and child rapist has recently escaped from one of our national prisons. The local citizens are panicking and the local politicians are disgraced. This is becoming a matter of national stability and pride. What should we do? They'll catch the guy eventually. This is the Italian approach, and if we were to roleplay, which we definitely should be, we should take that, or we could get start manhunt, which will use political power as well. Or we need to reform our prison system. That's not going to work in Italy, so they'll catch the guy eventually. Bit of role-playing is never bad. So it's good that we increased our stability with that other event. And then we have a few Alpine brigades. Okay, so like the state of our army in general is not that good. We appear to have 66,000 men in our armed forces, or, well, no, only really in the army. 48 tanks, 288 pieces of artillery, 900 mechanized, 2,000 trucks, 500 support equipment, and 150 tanks. We'll definitely need to get more tanks and more mechanized, because mechanized is good. Mechanized is really, really good. Steel production scandal. Oh wow. Steel production is a vital part of the economy and important in order to keep the war machines going. But when the companies break carbon emission treaties, when they displace and exterminate local animal populations, and when they don't pay their taxes to the government, things become problematic. One of our largest steel producers has been involved in a great number of scandals recently. How should we proceed? We need to stop this, and we're gonna get some progressives from that. I don't want to get greens. I really don't. Plus 20 political power. Or we could add production of steel and get libertarians, which I also don't want. Both of these need to die. And we'll decrease our political power and stability, but we'll get steel. And steel is useful. German steel. German steel is very useful. Because right now, we have a 6 surplus of steel, and if we get the 2 extra, then we'll have an 8 surplus, which means that we can use another civilian factory for our construction. So we'll do this. And Germany, you'll decrease by 1. If we go to construction, you can see that our construction likes that, because instead of 3, they have 4. That is a 25% increase in our production of things. That is amazing, absolutely amazing. So we have the Folgore Parachute Brigade. Yeah, it seems like we have a bit of a hodge. Oh, hi. Russia goes to war against Chechnya. Okay. So obviously, They want to destroy Chechnya, and now we have... we have a choice. We can either go with Northern Italy, which is obviously going to be a lot of things. Southern Italy, a lot of things. And the islands are a little bit less. So why would I do that first? Well, because there's military buildup in Sicily, which is a military factory, whereas these lead on to dockyards and naval bases. And in fact, that's the only way we can get military factories on a national focus tree, and then we can get oil fields later on. That's gonna be some interesting stuff later on, because we're gonna have a choice of either. I wonder what that would be. Getting things with Egypt and Nigeria. Yeah, I wonder what that would be. You can either go with resources later, or just raw production efficiency. And we'll go with resources, obviously, because we lack resources quite high. That's one of Italy's biggest problems. And then we get infrastructure, naval dockyards, civilian factory. Okay, so we'll go with Northern Italy first. These two are the same, right? Yeah, so we'll go with Northern Italy first. What does it say? Northern Italy is the more modern portion of the country. We're going to have to modernize and improve to help it grow more and increase our economic power. Okay. Although, to be fair, it's not just that it's... Oh, hi. Rip Chechnya. They lasted about half a day. As to be expected. It's not really that it's the most modern part of the country, it's that it's the only civilized part of the country, as every northern Italian knows. Once you go a little bit too south, it's just... I'm sorry, it was a bit of a joke. That one. Pinerolo. Yeah, we're gonna need to restructure our army. It's not good. But eventually we're gonna have that. Once we have that development. So let's look at what other people are doing. Resource focus, emphasize freedom. So nothing weird from Germany. Emphasize justice. Apparently fascism is justice. Millennium Dawn quotes 2017. Freedom just gives everything. It increases the popularity of everything. So they're gonna either go with German freedom, aka their own democratic alliance in Central Europe, or the European Union. They have a 5% from Russia, of course. They're doing economic focus, and then China's doing peaceful rise. So no world tension coming in from them. Oh, I should, by the way, so no China dream. Should, by the way, say that I have the historical focuses off, so hopefully some weird stuff will happen. That is my hope. And we don't know anything about Japan. It's a little bit too early to know.